Echo 5, do you copy? Echo 5.
Echo 2, good morning. Nice of you to drop by.
Feeling alright, sir? Thought we lost you.
Right now, I feel like I can take on this whole podcast myself.
I know what you mean. Ready to send that transmission to Echo Base?
Yes, sir. R10, patch through.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Hoth Transmissions. So tonight we are going to continue our discussion of the prequels. And so tonight we're going to be doing the Attack of the Clones, which is pretty cool because Echo 3 really loves the prequels, so he's really excited to get into this discussion. So let's just jump right into it. All right, so you're just telling me an interesting fact about one of the Jedi from the Battle of Geonosis, Coleman Trebor.
Yeah. Let's just jump into it. So I was watching this YouTube video, and this is all sourced from books and stuff. I guess the guy had read all the books about Attack of the Clones. But you watch this movie, and Coleman Trebor, if you guys don't know who that is, I actually didn't know his name specifically until Mark reminded me. But he looks like a dinosaur. He's got those two eyes on the side of his head. He gets shot down by Jango Fett. What does Jango send? Like 3 bullets his way, and the guy dies, something like that.
3 laser blasts, yeah.
Yeah. Three shots his way, and the dude's dead. And it's kind of like, this guy's a Jedi. What's he doing? Why is he dying so quick? And so it turns out Coleman Trebor is the PR agent of the Jedi. He's the media manager. How funny is that?
That's actually pretty funny. So he runs the Instagram and the Facebook page. Maybe probably even the TikToks.
Yeah, dude. He talks to the media, so it's like, I guess he doesn't have that much combat training or something like that, but.
Which is actually funny because I think about the Jedi in general, how much experience do they really have in battle? I mean, Kenobi and Qui-Gon, I think I mentioned this last time. It's this is the first time that they've probably actually had to use their skills in that type of level.
Did you say Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Anakin?
No, I'm talking about from Phantom Menace when they fight Maul.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, they never fought a Sith before, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then we know Anakin trains a lot in against the training droids a lot. Because I think in the comics there's all the other Jedi kind of made fun of him for it, but he was impressing some of the Jedi Masters and stuff.
Right. A quick counter to that. Well, first of all, let's respect Jango a little bit. Jango's supposed to be the probably the best bounty hunter in the galaxy at that point in time. So that dude probably knows how to kill shot. So he knows where to shoot. But at the same time, I was gonna say,
I know the Jedi blind spots where the Force won't tell him.
Yeah. Okay. Now, here's what I was gonna say. Coleman Trebor, forget about combat training. Since he's a Jedi, I feel like the Force should still be able to, you got those Spidey senses, like Spider-Man senses. It doesn't matter how much combat training you have. If a blaster's coming towards you, you should be able to block it if you're a Jedi. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he's just not that strong in the Force, and that's why he's a PR agent. They're like, he's Force sensitive. He really wants to be a Jedi.
Right.
We don't want to make him feel bad. So we got a spot for you, PR agent.
Right, dude. Honestly, his midichlorian count must have been pretty low.
Yeah, probably about Han Solo level, but it's he thinks he has a Force, but we don't want to hurt his feelings.
So then, why the hell did Mace bring him to Geonosis? This is what happened. Mace was like, we got to get there fast. We don't have time to pick and choose any Jedi in my current area. We're going to Geonosis. Hop on the transport. We're going right now.
I think he was trying to record it too. It's like, hey, news update. This is Jedi's first adventure into space. We're going to an arena, so let us capture it on the news on the HoloNets.
Dude, he was
and then
streaming
Trevor
that,
just dies, and it's like, oh, well, there goes that footage.
Yeah, dude, Coleman must have been shaking his boots, man. Go to Geonosis, bro, I'm not ready for this.
No, seriously. I think that's. I mean, if he didn't die, he probably would have been the announcer for the Clone Wars.
Yeah, right, yeah. Dude, I'm happy. I feel like growing up, everybody has a favorite background Jedi. And I'm happy my favorite background Jedi kicked ass at the Battle of Geonosis.
Which one would that be? Kit Fisto?
How'd you know? Kit Fisto. Always been my boy. Always been my boy.
I don't know. The Force was just kind of telling me on that one.
Yeah, dude. And it kind of watching the original Clone Wars. The guy who, like, the Samurai Jack style one.
Yeah.
That reinforced a lot.
His underwater battle.
Yeah, dude. When me and my brother watched that as a kid, and he was kicking ass underwater. It was so cool. But
even Mace Windu was pretty epic on that. They kind of did him a little
everybody was
justice
epic.
in Clone Wars, the animated
Yeah,
one.
yeah. No, everybody was epic in that. Grievous was scary in that show.
Yeah, no. Then he kind of gets went down.
Well, no. Well, they give an explanation for it in that the 2002 Clone Wars.
Well, yeah, no. I'm talking about like the new Clone Wars. He has a cough
gotcha.
and everything, and so originally the
Gotcha.
Samurai Jack kind of like explained the cough that he had.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
no, that's not true anymore. We're just gonna do this. This is the new story for it.
Dude, also, I don't really like his design in Clone Wars. I don't have a problem with anybody else's design, but I don't really like Grievous in Clone Wars.
Yeah. He makes a great
I
action
watched.
figure though. Or Black Series.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever seen it actually. But
I'll send you a link to it. It actually looks pretty cool. He actually looks as
yeah,
terrifying as he did in the Samurai Jack version.
I watched season 7 of Clone Wars, and they did something with his eyes or something. And he's not in it, but it's like he's in a quick shot of it. Like, he doesn't do any action, but they mention General Grievous in season 7 of Clone Wars, and it's like a quick, like 5-second shot of him, and something they do like about his eyes or something. But he looks badass in that. He looks more like Revenge of the Sith Grievous. But another season,
because they updated his appearance in that one. Yeah.
dude. He looks so much better. He looks so much better.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, very very interesting stuff on that. The character designs in Clone Wars, it's an acquired taste, and it's the same with Rebels.
Yeah.
But you gotta appreciate the studios and their individual visions.
And it's kind of cool to bring this back to Attack of the Clones. This is the first battle of the Clone Wars at the end of Attack of the Clones.
That is true, and it all starts with Palpatine manipulating a kid, because that's all. Honestly, what the whole thing is about is he's just trying to manipulate. Like, not really. I mean, he is, but he's trying to groom Anakin into
Right.
Darth
That's
Vader.
a good word. Yeah.
And the Clone Wars was just kind of that way to kind of like really distract him and kind of have him start questioning things. Like, okay, we got the Separatists here, but now we got the Republic views. The Jedi are jumping in, but the Jedi aren't like perfect. So tons and tons of things. And we get to see it, like, even with the very first mission that we see him as Hayden Christensen. He's coming up, and we got Padme, and he's even having some struggles with Padme on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting that's one thing I did like about it. Like, you jump right into the movie. I always love the opening scenes, especially like them. It's Padme ship. They're kind of going right over Coruscant, headed right into the Senate building.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, I wasn't expecting them to walk down and go, okay, all right, well, maybe me kind of playing decoy wasn't it was a bad idea, or not a bad idea, but it's like maybe it was overly cautious, and it's like, oh yeah, awesome, yeah, we did a good job, and then her ship blows up. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it's a shock for the first scene for sure.
And am I the only one that thought it was funny when her decoy is just laying there and Padme comes up to her and it's like, oh no, like trying to console her, and then her decoy is like, I'm sorry I failed you. I'm like, no, you did not fail. You did exactly what you're supposed. You actually succeeded.
I don't know if
You actually
I
did
say
what you're
funny.
supposed to do.
I don't know if I say funny. Maybe it's kind of weird. Kind of weird that she said that.
No, it's pretty ironic.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. So yeah, so a little bit funny that she thought she failed, but I think she succeeded. She did exactly what she was hired for. So, see you, decoy. Time for a new one.
Right.
But I mean, she doesn't really need one anymore now that she's with Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Right. Well, that was right before they were assigned to her. But yeah.
No, yeah, exactly right before. And even Yoda, what a smooth talker. It's like, is everybody falling for Padme or what?
Did you say Yoda?
Yeah, he's like, what does it say?
Oh,
He's
dude,
like, it warms
I
my
know
heart
what
that you.
Yeah, I remember that scene. I know what you're talking about.
And
Yeah,
but Padme's like, oh, just another guy hitting on me, so she
dude,
completely just ignores him.
exactly, dude. Every time I watch the movie, it's like it is an awkward scene because Yoda's like flirting with her or
Being
something,
being
and then
sincere.
and then she has like an annoyed look on her face. She's like, "Well, stop talking about me like that," you know? It's like so funny.
Yeah, I wish I got shut down. I hate you, Yoda. All right, now on to business.
And for some reason that always rubbed me the wrong way because Yoda, like especially in the original trilogy, was like the wisest guy, and it's like I feel like he's above like getting denied by girls. So I'm like, I don't know, I don't really like that scene.
Yeah, same. I mean, I don't really think he was flirting with her, but that's just kind of funny just how the situation happens.
No,
And
right? You know, I think it was just the editing or something. Like I don't think he's actually getting denied by Padme, but it's like the way they edited it to her. He says something nice, and then she just has like this stone cold look on her face. So it's like that was really weird, you know.
please don't talk to me that way. It really makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Multiple lines.
that's what she says
She
to
says
Anakin,
that
right?
to Jedi.
Yeah.
um, yeah, but I mean, like they just jump right to the whole war thing. Uh, let's see. And going back to like how Palpatine was grooming Anakin, like you can tell it just from the scene alone, because she's talking about the attack on her life, and like, okay, so she needs protection, and who does Palpatine quickly say to be assigned to her? Anakin, and he's like, oh, Obi-Wan just came back from a mission. Him and his Padawan
Right.
can assist her.
Right. Right.
And then that's how we like get introduced to an older Ewan, which looks pretty cool. Like it's weird seeing him from like Phantom Menace jumping right into. I mean, I guess you did say like 3 years apart, so you see him with just like this beard and a little bit more mature. But he looks so
Yeah.
much older than he did in Phantom Menace. It's only 3 years. Well, less
Yeah.
than.
Right. Right. And there's a huge like character difference too. Feel like he's
Oh,
a lot more serious in Phantom Menace. Um, but
he's a little bit more
he
relaxed
does
at this point.
yeah he does a lot of banter and joking around and stuff, and it's more of like the Obi-Wan that we know, you know.
The one that everybody kind of really fell in love with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I dig
And
it.
I was gonna say because I think I watched this with somebody for the first time. I showed them the whole series. And we told them that Anakin was a different actor, and they saw this movie, and they were like, "Oh, is Obi-Wan a different actor too? He looks so much different. He really does.
He really
The
does.
beard and the hair."
And it's
Um,
crazy how much that can actually change an appearance or look.
I know, right? Yeah, he does a good job. Ewan always does a good job with Obi-Wan. He kind of made the character of Obi-Wan. I mean, there wasn't a lot of
Mm-hmm.
character to him in the original trilogy, so.
Hayden did a really good job portraying an awkward, obsessive teenager.
Right, dude. And it's like,
It's like even on the elevator, he's sitting there sweating, and you can already tell he's obsessed. He's like, I haven't seen her since blah 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 blah. And everyone's like, dude, take a chill pill, go take a cold shower.
yeah, I know. Okay, and this is one of my like I love the prequels, but this is one thing where in hindsight I'm thinking maybe they could have done this a little differently because in Phantom Menace you got a little kid, Anakin, so there's not a whole bunch of character development. In Episode 2, it's like a super immature, super ornery, moody Anakin. It's like he's not going to be warm to the audience. Like he's kind of annoying in this movie a little bit, always talking back to Obi-Wan. You know what I'm saying? And then in Revenge of the Sith, it's the very end of the Clone Wars, the very very end of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that's probably what's really good about the Clone Wars, because I talked about this with everybody. It's like between the Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, Anakin is a completely different character between the two.
Yes,
And
he is.
I think the Clone Wars really matures him in that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
he's not as much of a kid anymore because he's making tougher decisions, so he's forced to kind of grow up. Not to mention, he's got Padme working alongside him throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You see him more in a leadership position. He's a general. He's running Starfleet. He has a Padawan of his own. He's a teacher too.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not to say Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie, and I love Anakin Revenge of the Sith. Attack of the Clones is a different story. I think Anakin gets a little annoying in this movie, a little bit moody for me. But it makes me think that Phantom Menace should have been a teenage Anakin. Episode 2 should have been right in the meat of the Clone Wars, some
Yeah.
Clone Wars stories, and then Episode 3. Honestly, Episode 3 could say Episode 3. I love Episode 3.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, I kind of maybe would have reorganized it that way.
I've actually had that same discussion with a few other people before. A lot of people think that it should have just been a teenage Anakin that Qui-Gon finds, and then continue on from there.
Kind of blend Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones a little bit. Keep a lot of story beats from Phantom Menace, but also start the Clone Wars on Geonosis in Episode 1, and so that in Episode 2 you can have full-on Clone Wars action.
But I mean, I can kind of see it though, because that's kind of like how Lucas kind of envisioned it. It's like, okay, so you got this kid Anakin who's just doesn't know anything different. He's kind of mature because he has to be as a slave. Gets taken into the Jedi, gets spoiled, and very complacent, and turns into this bratty teenager that's obsessive, that thinks he can get whatever he wants. And you see that with between him and Obi-Wan, him and Padme throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
And then in Revenge of the Sith, you have a more mature character who has bigger decisions to make, and ultimately, for the good of the galaxy, probably chose the right one.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how much the Jedi probably would have screwed up the galaxy if they're still around. Because ultimately, I actually think the Jedi were the bad guys in this entire prequel trilogy. Not to say that Palpatine
Really?
is
Wow.
guiltless, but I think it was just more like villains going
You
against
think
villains. But
yeah.
different
Well,
types.
yeah. I mean, I can see that. Yeah, and they expand on that in Clone Wars too, but.
Because like, I mean, they kind of expand on that with like Anakin saying that quote of Revenge of the Sith. It's like, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil, and it's like, to a degree, they are, but it's only because out of arrogance. What they think they're doing is good.
Yeah. Well, actually, in the opening crawl of Revenge of the Sith, they say villains on both sides. They actually admit to it in Revenge of the Sith in the opening crawl.
Actually, you're right. So there you go. Proof.
Yeah.
But I mean, that could have also
crazy.
referred to Palpatine being the villain on the Republic side, and then
True. I never thought of
Sidious
it
on
as
the.
that, but that's true. But I don't know. I always thought of it as like there's corruption on both sides, separatists and Republic. But
Oh yeah, 100%. There's a when it gets into politics, like even in modern politics, like it doesn't matter. Both sides are filled with villainous people. No side is good, and that's kind of and that's what they're kind of doing here in Star Wars, is they're kind of like throwing in the political things. Like, okay, well, you got both sides that have their own views. Both think they're doing what's right, but ultimately, it just needs to be wiped away.
Yeah. And just real quick, when I was talking about the reorganizing of the prequel trilogy, I actually wouldn't want to do that because I'm a big prequel fan, and I might be in the minority, but I'm a huge fan of Phantom Menace, and so I feel like if you make different choices in that, then that would kind of take away, that would completely change Phantom Menace. So I don't know if I would be on board with that, because I don't want to change Revenge of the Sith at all. I'm leaving that movie. Phantom Menace, huge fan. Attack of the Clones is the only one where I feel like, I still like it, but I think it's the weakest of the prequels.
And that's kind of where I'm at with the sequels too. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, let's just.
I'm gonna Attack. Sorry, real quick. I think I said Phantom. Attack of the Clones, I think, is the weakest of the prequels. Just real quick. I don't know if I said that right, but
I actually think Phantom Menace is, but for different reasons.
There's a lot of people do.
And I can see why Attack of the Clones. Like, I've it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, when it comes to like my favorites and stuff like that, and then my least favorites. It always jumps around because I was like, oh well, I don't like this movie as much because of this, but I really like. But now that I think about it, I really like this part about it, so it makes it better than this over here. And so many calculations. Like I flip flop so much on
Oh yeah.
which ones I order. Like when we did our
Oh yeah.
rankings, get with me a year from now. Like I don't even have my rankings written down anymore, and
Yeah.
I'll sit there and do it again, and my order might be different.
Yeah. Oh, 100. No, it changes every time. Every time I do a watch through of the saga.
But like I was saying, like how you're talking about like making changes and stuff. Like a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, sequels aren't canon, blah blah blah," and we should just redo them. I'm like, nah, they're already done. A lot of the story is being built around it, so let's just keep it
Yeah.
because it is bringing a lot of good other stories that are leading up to it. And once I get past it, then it'll bring in some new better stories too. So
I'll just do a quick point on that because we want to get back to Attack of the Clones. But
oh yeah,
I would say the only thing against that is, again, obviously sequels is the only trilogy that George Lucas not only wasn't
didn't
a
do.
part of, but was just I can't think of the right word, but just like toxically excluded from. Like they
Yeah.
didn't want any part of Lucas for whatever reason. And so to me, like a lot of the Star Wars canon comes from George Lucas's mind, so
Well,
I don't know.
I look at the sequels as Disney doing experiments. Disney really wanted to make their stamp on the Star Wars universe. They wanted to pump out, get money. They're like, okay, this is a money thing, so let's do our own thing because we're Disney, so everybody loves us. So it doesn't matter what we do. And so then they put out their stuff trying to be so different from Lucas that they got way too far away from the point of what Star Wars was. And then that whole mistake, I think, was a whole necessary thing because we probably wouldn't have gotten anything like Mandalorian. We probably would have gotten more, I don't know, trash. I don't know. So I think
Maybe.
the
Yeah.
sequels needed to happen the way that
So
they did.
they need to make something so bad that we get back to the good kind of thing.
Kind of. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and you got to make mistakes to know how to make the right ones.
Yeah, no, I could see that. And just a real quick point, something cool about Rogue One. I don't know if you know this, but I'll link you to the article after. But
Okay.
they would bring Lucas on set, and he would
Yeah.
choose. I like this helmet. I don't like this helmet. I like this. I like this. And so I just think at least having Lucas as a consultant of what should go on in Star Wars is the key to success. I mean, whatever they did in the sequels, just excluding him is just beyond stupid to me. The guy who created the universe.
Like I said,
So
they're trying to do their own thing and kind of like we don't. I don't know. It's like you take over something and it's like, okay, I don't want to live in my brother. Like think of it like you go to school. You have an older brother who's had a teacher. You go into that classroom and the teacher sees you and it's like, oh, you're so and so's little brother. And I think Disney was trying to get away from the shadow of Lucas and make their own. You know,
well, yeah, but
I'm
obviously
pretty sure that's what happened.
and it's a recipe for failure because
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not talking about he doesn't have to be the director of Rogue One, but he was a consultant. Like, and also I don't know if you follow sports at all, but I'm pretty sure you know who Jerry West is, right?
Is
Jerry
that Adam West's brother?
Jer- Jerry West
I'm
is
just
the
kidding.
Jerry West is he's the logo of the NBA.
Oh, okay.
He's a logo. But anyway, he's a legend in the NBA, and my favorite team. They don't have him as a GM, as a president, but he's a consultant. Like he comes in there and he says, "All right, let's pick. I want to draft this guy. Draft this guy for this reason." Like just a consultant, right? He doesn't have to be the main man, but let him give you some knowledge. That's what Lucas should be nowadays. Give him some inside knowledge.
But speaking of making bad mistakes, like
Let's get back to Attack of the Clones.
yeah, thinking making bad mistakes that lead to good results is like seriously here. Like they, like I think it was a mistake for Anakin and Obi-Wan to watch over Padme and kind of be her security force, but
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say next too. It's funny.
but it leads on to the whole story of unraveling the start of the Clone Wars.
Right.
But I do like,
Well,
and sorry, I really like the banter that they have with Obi-Wan and Anakin as they're like just standing outside Padme's quarters.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Anakin's like, Padme doesn't. I don't think she likes me watching her or whatever because she has R2 in the room doing security. So it's like, oh, I got a sensor on, so it'll alert me for anything. But I can sense everything going on in that room, and then Obi-Wan's like, you're not. You're not as attuned to the Force like I am, or something like that. And just a little banter between them. I thought was comedy.
Yeah. And I think that Anakin's like kind of disrespect towards Obi-Wan and his rebellious attitude towards Obi-Wan is warranted
Yeah.
because I think he's 19. So that's 100% how he should be as a Padawan.
Yeah.
Like he should be a little bit rebellious. It's just the fact that they chose to have him be this age in one of the movies in the prequels. But I think for his age and stuff, I think that it works. He should be rebellious and kind of a dick to
Absolutely.
Obi-Wan. He's a teenager, so.
I mean, he wants to prove himself, and we hear it later in. He's like, Obi-Wan's holding me back, type.
Yeah, right.
And it's just that normal teenager thing. It's like, you're holding me back. You're not letting me do what I want to do. Blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
ultimately, it's like the best decision, and he just doesn't see it.
And it doesn't
So
help
it's
that
good.
it doesn't help that Obi-Wan is an extreme rule follower in terms of Star Wars, in terms of the Jedi Council and stuff. Extreme rule follower, and Anakin was more like Qui-Gon. Like,
completely reckless but calculated.
Yeah.
Reckless.
Yeah. Like reckless. I like calculated recklessness because it's like you don't have to do everything by the book, but
Anakin just is like, okay, this might not be the right thing, or the right way, or the way that you would do it, but it's efficient.
Yeah.
But like even then, like Obi-Wan's like even telling Anakin, he's like, senators are not to be trusted. But I find it hilarious that they're constantly in Palpatine's office.
Oh yeah, you mean the Jedi in general?
Yeah, Jedi in general.
Yeah.
Even though Obi-Wan does make a comment about Palpatine, but I don't feel the rest of the Jedi see it the way his way is.
Yeah, I mean the Jedi are extremely involved in politics.
Mm-hmm. Too much.
Too much. But yeah, I mean, from there we get a really exciting. Like for some reason, I feel like it's underrated and I kind of forget about it. But it's a long action sequence from the attempted assassination on Padme and the chase scene in the middle of Coruscant.
Yeah,
really underrated and a really long and exciting action scene.
Yeah, just from the point that Anakin runs in, swings the lightsaber, thinking I thought he was gonna slice Padme's neck off, but he's got such precision.
Yeah. Oh, and then Obi-Wan
jumps out
the window.
With it. Yeah, like speaking of another calculated recklessness.
Right.
Obi-Wan just jumping out a window.
Obi-Wan, I mean, yeah.
Did he actually think what if he missed? By Obi.
I was just gonna add, just the Jedi are just so confident, maybe overconfident in this day and age, and so Obi-Wan just jumps out that window. I'm sure he must have known he could grab onto that, but
I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me. It's not gonna fail me.
Yeah, yeah, but
I mean,
it's cool to see. We see so much of Coruscant in this chase,
which I love. Like,
really cool.
it's actually even funny. Coruscant was not actually Lucas's idea.
Whose idea?
It actually came out from one of the books. It was listed in one of the books, and that became the main governing planet post Return of the Jedi and like all the books. And so Lucas took that and made it canon.
Very cool, very interesting choice, because if you think about a Jedi, they're religious, like monks, like Buddhists. I think he gets a lot of like Jedi teachings from Buddhism, and it's just interesting that the Jedi Temple and where the Jedi operate is in the middle of the most bustling city in the whole galaxy.
Not to mention, it's on. I think they built it upon Sith ruins too.
Oh my! See, I mean, it's just like when I think about like monks and religious religious units, like I would think of Jedi being like in the middle of like a grassy plain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like away
something like
from.
Have you seen the Jedi Temple in Rebels yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, I'll send you a picture of it. But exactly what you're kind of like describing is straight from Rebels.
and I don't want to get into the Last Jedi at all, but like the planet that Luke is on, that kind of thing.
Hoth.
Like, I don't agree with like whatever goes on in that movie, but I'm just saying the scenery. I'm just saying
Yeah.
the scenery and the planet. Like that's where I would imagine a Jedi temple to be.
Yeah. No,
So
I feel
yeah,
it. I feel it.
kind of interesting to have the temple right in the middle of politics and city and corruption. But
Which is funny,
that's
like even if you jump into like religious, you jump into like any religion you're talking about, and it's like, okay, if you want to connect to a higher being or like God or whatever it is that you believe in, they always recommend, okay, so you got to meditate, you got to go to a spot where it's completely quiet and no distractions. And it's actually pretty funny. Maybe it's symbolism for how the Jedi have lost touch because they're in the middle of all these distractions.
yeah. Well, yeah, and this might. I mean, for all we know, this could be part of Lucas's calculation because he knows the Jedi are going to fall, and so he puts them in the middle of the city. He puts them in the middle of corruption, and again, just overconfidence by them and letting corruption seep into them.
Maybe it's not even their choice to be there. Because I mean, there's Jedi temples all over the galaxy, and that's just like the main headquarters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe the governing republic or at the time is like, okay, we need the Jedi over here, so this is where you're gonna be, so we can contact you super quick.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about right now is like, I mean, the Jedi are ultimately supposed to be peacekeepers, and so it would make sense if they're peacekeepers. It would make sense, you can commission them to come in off planet or whatever. But maybe
Yeah.
because of the separatist movement and all the war that was going on, maybe they moved
Hmm.
them there. They moved them to Coruscant closer because now we're not really peacekeepers, but we need you to survive. The Republic's going to
Yeah.
fall if we don't have the Jedi, and so
Hmm.
maybe it's just kind of like a wartime act to move it, but.
Or maybe
Something.
it's just kind of maybe it's just a symbol of peace. Okay, it's like, okay, the Republic's great because we got the Jedi right here.
Right.
So if we
Could
have the
be. Yeah.
Jedi, then
Yeah.
and that's one thing that I like in Legends is that Luke takes over the Yavin temples, the Masasi temples there, and that becomes the headquarters for the post Jedi order.
See, like Yavin seems like a Jedi temple planet,
Hmm.
right? That seems like a perfect place to have it.
But in the Legends books, that's actually where Exar Kun was, and he was actually entombed there. But that's a whole nother story. We get into all that later. Exar Kun's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's crazy because we're here on Coruscant, so we get to see all this crazy stuff. We get to see these flying taxi cars. We get to see how traffic is. Like Obi-Wan's sitting there driving a car, Anakin's driving like the little space taxi, and
Right.
then catches Obi-Wan.
Right. And
And
I was just gonna say something consistent about the prequels in every single movie, Phantom Menace, Attack, Revenge, they always execute the fact that from the dialogue from A New Hope, Anakin was one of the best star pilots in the galaxy. Because
yeah,
in every single movie, this dude is just an
even Clone
exceptional
Wars.
pilot. Yeah, Clone Wars too. Yeah, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, everything.
Yeah,
So, and once again, Obi-Wan doesn't like flying, but Anakin's maneuvering. He's doing some crazy stuff, maneuvering around the city in the opening
like
scene.
he even takes like a little shortcut and he just stops and Obi-Wan's like sitting there lecturing and it's like, this is why we should have done it. I don't know why you did that. You completely
Yeah,
lost him. All
yeah.
right, mission's over, blah blah. And then Anakin's like, oh, Obi-Wan, hold on a second. Oh no, I just fell out of the car. And Obi-Wan's like, I hate when he does this.
Dude, I love that scene because I mean that just speaks to the teenage recklessness of Anakin, and I just love that line. I
Yeah,
hate it when he does that because that line just like encourages the fact that there's a period of time that we don't know that, but there's some history there.
yeah.
Like Anakin has been jumping out of spaceships and doing reckless shit for 10 years, but we just don't know about it. So, I love that
Because
line.
even in the elevator scene at the very beginning, Anakin's like, was it Revenge of the Sith? I think no, it was even there. It's like, oh, you rescued me out of that nest of Gundarks or whatever.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones. Yeah.
And and then even in Revenge of the Sith, Anakin's like, oh, this is like the seventh time. Nope, nope, sixth. Blah blah. We're not
Yeah.
counting
Well,
that one over there. Like,
you know what's funny? Phantom Menace to Attack of the Clones is the biggest jump between any
yeah,
movie. It's 10 years, and there's no content in between. I don't know. Actually, there might be books. I'm not sure. But
Legends books. Since Disney
yeah,
took over, there's really nothing in between Phantom Menace and.
I was
Oh
gonna
no, actually
say.
there is. There's a comic series called titled Anakin and Obi-Wan, And it's
Really?
actually a really good series. I'll send you a link to where you can read them when you have
Dude,
time. But
because
it's worth the read.
that would be really cool to see Anakin like 14, 15, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
And
think that's the age he is in this comic. I think
really,
he's like
because
13 or
that'd be
14.
that'd be a really cool area to explore. And Obi-Wan, maybe he has like a mustache, maybe not a beard quite yet. He's got a mustache and
Mm-hmm.
so like medium long hair. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be a cool era to explore.
100%. And then I like the little crash landing that they had right in front of that bar.
Yeah. Think with your. What did they say? Something about the lightsaber, right?
Oh yeah, because Anakin's sitting there fighting on his damn ship and doesn't realize who it was. He sits there, turns it on, tries to slice through, and then loses his lightsaber. Obi-Wan just happens to be trailing behind, uses the Force, catches it, and just puts it neatly right in the thing. Then when he gets down, he's like, "Don't ever lose this. This lightsaber is your life."
Right. And then I love that Obi-Wan. He's gonna put trust in his Padawan. I'm the master. You go and find the suspect. I'm gonna go to the bar. I'm gonna get some drinks.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just him listening to the Force. Maybe
Yeah, that could be part of it too.
it's like Anakin, go. I'm gonna make it seem like you're useful. Go do this so you don't get in my way.
And
But in reality, I know what I'm doing.
right, and it leads to, I know there's a lot of memes because like a lot of people like to make fun of the prequels. Where sometimes I see those memes, I'm like, all right, relax. I don't know. I just don't like when people just overly make fun of the prequels because I like them. But it leads to one of the most funny, just genuinely funny moments of the prequels, the death sticks. It's just funny. It's
Oh
not like,
yeah,
I mean, it's actually like comedy. It's not like
it
a
doesn't
meme
serve any purpose
worthy.
to the story, but it's funny.
No, dude, it's just like actual. It's just funny. Like every time I
Mm-hmm.
watch that or I watch it with somebody else, we all laugh. It's hilarious.
Do you want to buy some death sticks?
Yeah, I don't want to buy. You don't want to buy death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. And you know what? You think about how many times you want to say that to people when they're trying to sell you
Mm-hmm.
something too. And
I
Obi-Wan
want to
just
go home and rethink your life. Get out of here. Stop bugging
yeah,
me.
and Obi-Wan can actually do it. It's really funny. Really funny.
Gotta love those Jedi mind tricks. And
Yes, dude.
and I love the thing that I also found funny that as they're walking into the bar, Obi-Wan's like, "Why do I feel like you're gonna be the death of me?" That's all
Oh
right,
yes,
Master.
forgot about that
A little
line.
foreshadowing.
There's a lot of foreshadowing actually in the prequels that people kind of forget about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because Lucas is always playing with the audience's minds because he made the prequels obviously where everybody knows the end story of it, so he kind of played
Mm-hmm.
with that a little bit, which is it's very smart. I think it's kind of cool to do.
Mm-hmm. And it's cool that he
It's
kind of.
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say it's another reason why I always recommend release order when you're watching. Start with the originals and then go to prequels. But
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
And I like this. And what is it with Obi-Wan always cutting people's arms off in bars?
Dude, hey, maybe that's why they did that. I didn't even
Yeah,
think
no,
about that.
that's exactly why they did it. Speaking of things that people
Wow.
kind of forget, like as far as like foreshadowing or just like
Yeah.
Easter eggs or
That's a
whatever.
that maybe I have heard about that one, but I don't know. For right now, it seems pretty new to me. That's cool. That's cool.
Because there's just
Did
so
the
much
same.
to take in. It's like you can't catch everything. It's like even something as simple as that.
Yeah, did the same thing in A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And
With the
man,
Skywalker in the place.
right, with the Skywalker at his side, and then man, when they interrogate this woman, boy, does
The
she get
changeling.
ugly. Yeah, she gets really ugly,
I actually
real
thought she got
fast.
hotter. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I didn't know you were into that. Echo 2.
Indeed. But I like that they set up like this changeling character because it's really cool to be able because it seems like bounty hunters really like working with changelings for their abilities. Because even Cad Bane in
Yeah.
Clone Wars hired one.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I always thought that the Dark Mater looked like that. But then when I got older, I realized her true self is the ugly
Yeah.
one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To the alien species.
Yeah.
Imagine you go on a date with a changeling and then they turn into that. It's like, oh, all right, oh, we gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Shit.
And then just never come back.
That'd be funny. And we get our first sighting of Jango Fett, and he's
Dude,
really badass in this movie.
I was gonna say, yeah, shoots a little saber dart and then it just shoots straight up into the sky.
Right. I remember when
I,
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I always find it funny because a lot of people, I even thought about this, like people, it's like, why didn't Django just shoot a laser blast? It's untraceable. Just sit there
Um,
and snipe her with a rifle right in the head. All right, she's done. All right, let's get out of here. They can't trace me anymore.
right.
But I mean, maybe it goes with the whole plan that Palpatine had. Maybe Palpatine planned all that. It's like, all right, you're gonna use this to kill her if anyone speaks. That way they
Well,
can track it here,
I
so
mean,
Obi-Wan can initiate the clones.
maybe I don't know. I'm just. Well, I mean, yeah, it could be part of the plan. I mean,
I could be overthinking it, but I mean, I know a lot of people make
I
jokes
mean,
about it. But I'm like, maybe it's all part of the plan.
I just thought of and forget about animated stuff. I'm talking about what we actually see in the movies. That was super long range. I don't know if I've seen a blaster bullet go that long range.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Well,
he had to have a dart
bounty
for that.
hunters though. Bounty
True,
hunters,
true.
they need it. They probably have
I'm just
special like equipped blasters or whatever.
well. I would think maybe that is the special equipment because I'm just like honestly, I don't know if I've seen a sniper that long distance in Star Wars. Maybe that is he had to use that dart to get her. I don't know.
Oh, Tusken Raiders have them.
True. There you go. Absolutely. In Phantom Menace, you see him
Yeah.
sniping the pod. Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it does use that dart, man. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, but you're right. I mean, it was just used to move the plot forward, I guess, huh?
Yeah, and Palpatine blah 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 was described as being able to see into the future and things, and so he
Hmm.
probably saw it, and maybe Jango was instructed to use that equipment, and Palpatine knew that was going to happen, so he's like, okay, so this needs to happen for this to happen.
And you know what? Technically, the dart was untraceable. Django went through that because he couldn't find Camino in the system. Obi-Wan had to go on a wild goose hunt to even to trace that at all.
Well, I mean, it's not that it was untraceable; it was just they tried to hide it really well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was precautions on Django's part where like that shit was like deleted from the archives and all that stuff. So
And
I
this is
mean,
what I found funny about like, this whole situation, because now Obi-Wan is in charge of finding this bounty hunter, right?
mm-hmm.
Why is it so important for the Jedi to take over this mission?
Hmm.
I know they're peacekeepers, but I mean, this just doesn't seem like a mission that the Jedi need to do. But it does leave some opportunity for Anakin to get some alone time and protect the senator.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say real quick that I actually don't have a problem with Obi-Wan going on the hunt for Jango Fett because all the way back in Phantom Menace, we kind of already established that Jedi, for whatever reason, Jedi are part of politics. They're right in the middle of
You're
Coruscant.
right.
They're involved in that. And so if somebody's like trying to assassinate Padme, which is one of the leading senators in the Republic, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to send Obi-Wan on that because Obi-Wan's a very powerful Jedi. So it's like, go ahead. The problem that I have is that Anakin is the bodyguard of. Oh wait, real quick, I was just gonna say because the Republic can deploy Jedi super soldiers. That's basically what they are. They're like their super soldiers.
Yeah.
So take the super soldier, let him go ahead and kill that bounty hunter. But I have a problem with the Anakin being the bodyguard of Padme because first of all, he's a Padawan.
They know he's obsessed with her.
Second of all, I was gonna say in love, but you're right, he's obsessed with her. Why not leave him back at the temple? Let him do a little bit more Jedi training.
And even more that she calls him a kid, or it's like, oh, you're still that little boy, and that just makes him try so much harder to impress her.
I know, dude, but I mean it's true, and it's like if I'm the council, I'm gonna leave Anakin at the temple. I'm gonna have him do some training with attachments and stuff like that, and I'm gonna send a master. I'm gonna send a master to guard Padme. Plo Koon, send Plo Koon.
Yeah.
Send anybody. Send anybody but Anakin. Okay, send a different Padawan if you
Send
have to.
anything but an angsty teenager.
Yeah, dude, come on.
And this is the other thing that I found funny. It's like, okay, so Obi-Wan hasn't left for his mission yet, but we've got Anakin meeting Chancellor Palpatine by himself to discuss the mission. Why not? Why isn't Obi-Wan talking to the Chancellor about it? Okay, all right, let's get the details from a Padawan, blah, blah. All right, Padawan, this is what you're going to be doing, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan even raises some concerns to, what's his name? Captain, it's not Panaka, because it's a different guy. It starts with a T.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he's talking to the new guy, and he's like, I'm worried about what Anakin do.
Oh,
I get.
yeah. I know.
And then
Yep.
he's like, I'm more concerned about what she's going to do.
Yeah, right. No, oh, no, I just also kind of thought maybe the Jedi Council, they know that Anakin is the chosen one, or at least he's prophesized to be the chosen one.
What could
And,
go wrong?
well, no, I was just gonna say maybe they see this as an opportunity to really grow some experience and put him through a real challenge. I mean, this is an important mission, so maybe the
Right.
council's like, so we want to groom this
We'll
kid, and we want to we want to make him into a powerful Jedi. I don't know, maybe that's what they were thinking. So
yeah,
it could go either
very
way,
true.
honestly. The more you think about it, it could go either way. But
True. And I mean, it kind of gets to that point too, because like even when he's made, I think it's the only person that really talks to him that way is Palpatine, though, because even when he's talking to Palpatine is kind of like telling him how important this is, blah blah blah. And even strokes his ego a little bit and says, "You're more powerful than Master Windu."
yeah, right. Well, Palpatine's just always grooming this guy, any chance he gets.
And then you got Obi-Wan on the other side and saying his abilities make him arrogant.
Yeah, right. Let me just give a little general complaint about Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
I think this is the worst. It's the most blatant green screen we get in the prequels. A lot more Phantom Menace than people realize is actually practical. Because again, it was made in the 90s, and it's just crazy. It was made in the 90s. You look at every other movie, even from 98, 99, nothing looks like
Because even
Phantom
the
Menace.
pod racing set was a diorama set.
Yeah, no,
That
I mean
they just zoomed in on.
a lot of that stuff is practical, and once you get to the Revenge of the Sith, the CGI is so refined, and it reaches such a clarity that it doesn't matter. The CGI in that movie is great, but Attack of the Clones, it's such blatant green screen, so many scenes, and it has like the saturated color to it. I feel like the colors are too bright. Also, a fun fact: Yoda. This is the oldest Yoda, because if you watch Phantom Menace today, that Yoda's from 2011. That's the best Yoda that in live action that they've ever made in Phantom Menace.
True.
Because I don't know. I mean, a lot of new fans.
It was a puppet before.
I was gonna say
they redid it.
Right. They might not realize that Yoda was actually an ugly ass puppet. Might I add? In Phantom Menace, ugly as. You look like a meth addict,
puppet.
Bro.
Beautiful puppet.
What? Wait, are you serious or no?
I had struggles with it for a long time where I actually liked the puppet only because it was practical.
Man. Oh, dude. Only because it was what?
Because it was practical, just because it was nostalgic. It's okay. Okay, so they did a puppet in the original trilogy, so they're gonna do a puppet here. Then when you get to Attack of the Clones, you have a CGI Yoda, which I was fine with. And then when they went back to CGI Yoda in Phantom Menace, like, no, that's stupid. They shouldn't do that. But
I mean,
now,
yeah.
like, I'm completely opposite. I'm like, I'm so glad they did that.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where you're coming from, like generally, but it's one of the best additions they made, and that's just because.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's just because the Phantom Menace puppet for Yoda just looked like a drug addict. I don't know why, how they even like thought that looked good, but it looks so bad. It looks so bad.
It really did.
But the CGI now for Yoda and Phantom Menace so crisp, so it's amazing. It's really really good.
Yeah, 100%.
But anyways, back to Attack of the Clones. This is where Yoda looks. He doesn't look bad, but he definitely looks the worst. It's the oldest Yoda there is. There's a lot of there's too much green screen in this movie, and colors are oversaturated. I feel like a lot of Revenge of the Sith is dark. Like even the colors are dark. The mood is dark, and I think it's done purposefully. I just think there's not a lot of like thought that's going behind Attack of the Clones of like lighting. Like how are we going to do the lighting on this scene or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's meant to be vibrant, just because like you got a Naboo is supposed to be like this beautiful lush planet, so it's like, let's make this.
True.
Because even when Anakin goes to Tatooine, it's like kind of drab and it's a little bright, but then you get to the night scene with him attacking the Tusken Raiders. It's like a dark scene.
One of my favorite scenes in all of Star Wars. Like, just forget about what movie scenes are in, but that's just one of the best scenes in Star Wars for me.
Yeah. I thought that I really like that because you get introduced to Lars, and then you just see the hatred in him. He's like, I hated those Tusken Raiders when I was a kid. I shot at my pod racer. Now it's to go show them a lesson because they stole my mom.
Oh,
And
dude.
so
Yeah.
one of my favorite things was just seeing him like jump off that cliff and sneak into the camp and cut through the side. And then you
Yeah.
have like this beautiful moment between him and his mom.
Yeah.
And then she just dies in his arms, and then he just starts getting pissed.
Yeah.
And he just comes out, lightsaber turns on, and he just does one quick stroke, and you see him slice a head off a Tusken Raider and kill another one.
Yeah.
And then
And
and
they don't
then
even
the
have to
other one's
show
like,
it. You know what went down at that camp.
oh yeah, because you see the Tusken Raiders, they get up and like, oh crap, where'd this guy come from? We're screwed. But I'm
Yeah.
sure they know what a Jedi is.
Yeah. Right. And
And then you see
I
them
don't
get up and start running, and then scene cuts.
watching that whole sequence, it's just like kind of crazy how there's so many weak scenes in this movie. Again, I really like the movie, but there's a lot of weak scenes in Attack of the Clones, and this whole sequence is executed like to perfection. Anakin's Hayden Christensen's acting is really good with him and his mom. He does a really good job. I love the lighting in it. You get like there's a fire in there, and it's like fire. You can see it glistening off
Yeah.
their faces and stuff. It's really touching between him and his mom. It's such a pivotal moment for Anakin's turn into Darth Vader. I mean, it's a really important scene, and it's executed to perfection, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Hayden does really well with anger acting.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, just real quick, the Duel of Fates when he's on his way to the Tusken camp, really cool.
Oh yes.
So
Where
that
he's
is
on that swoop bike. That
yes,
is a really cool scene.
that I mean, like that's kind of like how I imagined Anakin would be in Phantom Menace, like just kind of a badass
Right.
on a motorcycle, up to no good, and that's what that scene was kind of right there. So really cool.
Yeah, then we jump back to Obi-Wan's story, which I'm not gonna lie, I find Obi-Wan's story a little boring when he's trying to determine the little dart.
Right.
Especially going to the Yoda. How embarrassing is it for Obi-Wan to go and it's like, oh Yoda, I need help with this, and Yoda's like, let's ask these 5-year-olds,
Yeah.
and the 5-year-olds solve his problem, and Yoda just sits there and mocks them.
Yeah. That was funny. That's funny. Yeah. Camino's really Camino, just because we're just going on with the story because eventually everyone ends up in Camino.
Yeah.
Really sci-fi planet. One of the most sci-fi
Oh yeah.
planets we see in Star Wars.
Beautiful too.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool.
I actually really like the whole little fight scene between Obi-Wan and Jango. It kind of really shows his skills and why he was chosen.
I was just about to jump there because I didn't know if we want to go through all the clone stuff, but I mean, in my opinion, that's probably the greatest. I went back and watched it. I remember I watched that scene after Boba Fett showed up in Mando season 2 because I don't know, I got really into Mandalorians and shit. So I was like, me and my brother went back and watched that scene. That's probably the greatest Mandalorian scene on film, in me and my brother's opinion. I mean, you get the entire repertoire of the suit, Jango Fett's suit. He does everything.
Yeah, that's true. Minus the little rocket.
And right. No, he uses the rocket, doesn't he?
Yeah. I don't think so.
No, dude. Oh wait, it might have been Boba Fett shooting from the ship, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. No, he uses the rocket. Mark, he uses the rocket. Because I remember the scene where he hunches his back over and then he fires the rocket.
You might be right. I'll have to watch that scene again.
I have to go back to it because I'm trying to remember what the rocket does, but I know for a fact he uses it. But Django does have a little assistance from Boba, but you get to see the power of Mandalorians because he basically duels him to a draw. It's a draw pretty much, that fight.
And Boba doesn't really help him too much.
Not too much. No, he doesn't. And it kind of pisses me off seeing this fight because it's such a well shot and executed action sequence. I don't know. I just don't understand why. Once they get to Geonosis, they decide to have Django die like a bitch, just like his son Boba.
That's number 2.
Oh yeah, okay. So this is a rated R now. This episode.
Yeah.
But really,
Parent advisory.
I don't understand it. Like, I mean, you see, he has a flamethrower. He's got the rocket. He's got the jet. Why? I don't understand it. George Lucas is. I mean, just. I feel like you could choreograph that scene so much better. You know.
All right. How about this? How about you get run over by a giant beast, and then you get up and try and fight a Jedi?
Now, fair point. I see what you're saying because his jetpack doesn't work anymore. But the dude stands. The dude stands and fires. Like what
else is he gonna do?
A Jedi's running towards him full speed. I don't know. Maybe jump to the side or something. Don't let him cut off your head. I don't know, dude.
I don't think he maybe he didn't think Mace Windu was gonna cut his head off. He's like, oh, this Jedi, he's good. He's not gonna kill me. Oh crap.
You know what? Precedence. Right before that, he downs Coleman Trevor in 3 blasts.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which we discussed at the very beginning.
Yeah, so maybe he's thinking, you know what? I can kill Jedi easy. So but he doesn't know it's Mace Windu. He doesn't know who Mace Windu is. He doesn't know what the baddest MFer in the galaxy is coming at him. You know.
No, Anakin's on the beast at that point, so he's not coming at Jango.
I don't know. At this point, I'm
just kidding.
No, I know, but at this point, I'm definitely taking Mace over Anakin.
Fair enough. Because his skills on that little conveyor belt was kind of lacking. I don't think Mace Windu would have gotten taken down that easy. he wouldn't have gotten his hand bolted to a plate.
Yeah.
So I might agree with you on that one.
We also got to keep in mind that I think Anakin is the same age as Luke in A New Hope, right?
Movie. Anakin's still learning. Like he's just overly
he's 19.
Confident.
Yeah, he's so young, dude. He's so young. Like, imagine Luke in the Battle of Geonosis from A New Hope.
Very true.
But yeah, dude. But I mean, just back to the fight. The fight between Jango and Obi-Wan is really good. Really, really good. Anybody who hasn't seen Attack of the Clones in a while, just watch that sequence. It's just a good action sequence. You know, it's really cool.
Tons. And I actually like this visit to Kamino because you get a little bit more history on Jango. And then you find out about this mysterious character called Sifo Dyas, who's been dead for like 10 years.
Really important.
I know for the longest time I was like, who is this guy? I know we get in Clone Wars to kind of delve into more of the story on that, but
yeah. You kind of realize without Clone Wars, there's not a lot of explanation to like why does Order 66 command the clones to kill the Jedi? Like, there's not much explanation that in the prequels. I never needed that personally. I thought, I kind of connected the pieces in my mind. Like, okay, I just connected it. But Clone Wars does add some good backstory.
Well, I mean, everybody does know because Count Dooku's involved, so it's like, okay, Count Dooku, Palpatine, obviously something's going on there.
Yeah,
but I'm just confused. It's like, okay, so it was Sifo Dyas working with Count Dooku. How did he get the funds to get a clone army without even the Jedi Council even knowing? Maybe he was it the CFO or something? He was like the accountant. He's like, I'll just fund money this way. I'll skim off the top. Nobody will notice.
Yeah.
I'm like, they'll need it later.
Yeah, or maybe they stole from somebody. They used their Jedi powers and stole. Who knows? But real quick, going into the cloning chambers of this movie, this is a weird thing. I always found it weird that there's a separate actor. They have Daniel Logan plays the young Jango Fett, obviously.
Right.
They have Tamora Morrison as Jango Fett, the oldest clones. But there's actually a third actor that plays Jango Fett, and
really? I never noticed that.
Well, okay. Once you watch it again, you'll know it right when you see it because he looks different. They show the middle-aged Jango Fett, and he's eating. There's like a bunch of them eating, and this guy like gives a little snarl to somebody that's next to him. And every time I watch it, I'm like, what the hell? Who is that guy? That doesn't even look like Tamora Morrison. It's this guy that looks somewhat similar, but yeah.
It could just be CGI, or is it actually?
No, it's not CGI. There's actually a third actor in that plays middle-aged Jango, like 20-year-old Jango. Yeah. Honestly, I don't see people talking about it a lot, but every time I watch the movie, I'm like, who's that guy? That's not Tamora Morrison. That's not Jango. Yeah, third actor looks a little different.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to research that now.
Yeah,
That might
check
actually make a fun trivia question on the Instagram.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because it's kind of cool. You don't like when people talk about the actors of Boba Fett, that guy would never come up. But
Yeah, true.
he's definitely in there. He's 100% in there.
Interesting.
I think he's
And I think
all I was just going to say I think he's always also from New Zealand too. Just a fun fact. I'm not sure though.
probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I think that's one of the cool things about Tamara Morrison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because especially when we get to like the Book of Boba and he gets to play some of that character in with the Tusken Raiders and implement some of his actual real life culture too. I thought it was really cool. We already discussed it in that podcast, but I just want to say I still think it's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And another thing important about this movie that really sets up for Anakin's fall is that they start introducing this love story with Padme. So it starts with this obsession, and then Anakin gets this time to spend with her, even though they kind of like sit there and butt heads, and Anakin's like, no, we're gonna do it my way, and Padme's like, excuse me, this is my home
Yeah.
planet. I know this better than you, so you're not even a Jedi yet, so step down. And then Anakin gets all offended.
Yeah.
But they start to calm down a little bit, and they start spending time in the fields, these romantic scenes with waterfalls in the background, and then they kind of steal a kiss, and then they spend time in this dark room with a little fire going, and she's wearing this very seductive outfit, and she's all surprised that Anakin's going, I'm in love with you. I know you feel it too. And she's like, we can't do this. I don't know why you're even bringing this up. And she's sitting there wearing this like really hot outfit, and she has the gall to sit there and say, no. I always found that funny.
Yeah.
I felt like she dressed on that way on purpose, and
yeah. She's got like half her boobs showing, and she's denying the teenager.
yeah, basically.
That's funny. That is true. But
It just haunts me. I know I know it haunts you too. Because why else would you dress so seductively while we're alone in this dark room with fire?
you know what's funny? I always watch the behind the scenes for these movies. That's the one outfit George Lucas designed that outfit. Funny enough.
Did you really?
Yeah, George Lucas made that outfit for that
Interesting.
scene. Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool design. So
Yeah.
impressive,
Yeah.
Mr. Lucas.
Yeah. Now this scene, there's a lot of awkward stuff in here. Like, I just don't like when people talk about awkward and wooden dialogue and acting. I think a lot of it is in Attack of the Clones, but then people like to say that's the whole prequels. But
Well, I mean, Revenge of the Sith, Anakin and Padme on the balcony, that scene. Love has blinded you. Well, that whole little sequence.
I'll be honest, I never thought that was awkward. I thought that was good acting. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
I thought that was actually, I thought it was kind of sweet, the whole thing. But
Okay. All right. We'll get more into that when we cover Revenge of the Sith. Then.
yeah, but
We'll save that discussion.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff in Attack of the Clones between Padme and Anakin where I'm like, it is cringe. I'm like, ugh, wow, yeah, that was a little bad.
Especially like when they're standing in that room and she's like, "Stop looking at me the way you're making me uncomfortable," and he gets even more creepier.
Dude, that might be the epitome of it. Yeah, they're like in Padme's. I think that's her room, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
Her
dude.
quarters.
Yeah, there's some stuff is just like, yeah. Revenge of the Sith. I mean, we'll get to it later, but yeah, I think all that stuff is pretty good. I think Hayden does such a good job in that movie. Really, he really does. And Natalie Portman always does a good job. I mean, she's one of the greatest. Might be an overstatement. I think she's one of the greatest actresses of all time. She's really, really good.
I'd say overstatement, but she is definitely good. I do like a lot of the stuff that she's been in. I
Yeah,
think one of my favorite performances that she's done is V for Vendetta. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
I've heard about it, obviously, but never seen it.
Yeah, she actually shaved her head for that one.
Mm.
And I remember crying myself. I was like, oh man, she cut off her beautiful hair.
Yeah.
But she rocks it pretty well though.
Yeah.
I kind of want to watch that movie now.
Yeah. What year did that come out? Do you know?
I don't actually.
I was just trying to think of his.
I want to say like 2006, maybe 2000.
All right. So after Star Wars.
Yeah, it was definitely after Star Wars. Because she's
Fun
older in that
fact.
one. Actually, no,
Fun.
it came 2005. So
Oh,
right after
2005.
Revenge of the Sith.
Really? Oh. I was just saying, fun fact: Ewan McGregor filmed the movie between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and so
Big Fish, right?
yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what it's called. Um, you might know this already, but a lot of the scenes in Attack of the Clones, not a lot. Some of the scenes in Attack of the Clones, Ewan has a fake beard and mustache. Wait, you didn't know this?
No.
And you know what's funny? Now that they say it, you can look this up too, but you can 100% tell. You can 100% tell the beard looks whack. The beard looks really whack. It's one of those scenes, man.
Glass shattering effect. Now that every time I see him, I'm gonna be like, "That's fake. That's fake." Oh, I can see it now.
100% you'll be able to see it. I believe the Dexter scene. I believe, and I'll have to double check all this, but I believe the beard is fake in the Dexter diner scene.
Interesting.
But yeah, because the movie that he was doing between those two, he was clean shaven. Oh, you know what it was? It was Black. I think it was Black Hawk Down. I think that's the movie he did between them.
I didn't know he was in that one.
You know what? Wait, let me look up the release date because I remember in Black Hawk Down he looks like Phantom Menace Obi-Wan
I
because he
didn't
got
know
a
he was
shaved
in that
head.
film. I don't remember being in that one.
Black Hawk Down. No, that was from 2001.
No.
But yeah, no, you
Yeah.
McGregor's in that movie, but
Oh yeah, he looks like his Phantom Menace self.
yeah, I can't remember the movie, but yeah, dude, he got a fake beard in a bunch of the scenes in Attack of the Clones. It's really funny. Like literally like a glued on beard. It's really funny.
Big Fish came out in 2003.
It's probably what it was then.
Yeah,
You're right.
had to be that one. Yeah.
Yep. Because
Some Ewan McGregor trivia for you guys.
yeah, and McGregor, he's always working. I mean, he's a really good actor, so obviously people always want to hire him. So he does like a project every single year. So
Mm-hmm. I think one of his other movies I thought he did great was Impossible.
never seen it. Never seen
I
it.
actually highly recommend it. Tom Holland's in that one, and
Oh, Tom Holland.
I forget. And then the mother, another famous actor, I can't think of her name, but the three of them did such a solid job in that movie. It's about I think they go to Thailand on vacation, and it's about a
Oh, that's
tidal
not
wave
called
that
Impossible.
hits.
That's not is it called Impossible?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was a different name. I know what movie you're talking about. I've seen that
Mm-hmm.
movie.
Yeah, it's called Impossible because it's
It
impossible for them to survive.
is.
It's based on a true story, I think.
Yeah, it is impossible. Yeah, I've seen that movie. I just didn't remember. It was a young Tom Holland, really
Mm-hmm.
young.
Yeah, one of his very first performances.
Yeah, cool. Cool.
Yeah. So lots of trivia for you guys there. Or movie buffs too.
Another little trivia right here. This again from behind the scenes from Attack of the Clones. The droid factory sequence. I don't even think one of the. I think that was the very last thing shot for Attack of the Clones because it was a reshoot. Yeah. So I was gonna say the droid factory, that whole sequence, that was all the very last stuff that was filmed for Attack of the Clones, and that's because Lucas was watching it all over, watching the movie, and there was just there was a huge drought in the middle of the movie where there was just too much talking and stuff, and then they said we need an action sequence right here, and so that's when they wrote the droid factory stuff and.
Oh, interesting. So it wasn't a reshoot. It's just an addition.
No, it was a reshoot. Oh, well, I mean, you're right. Technically, not a reshoot. It's an addition. But I think
Mm-hmm.
that was like in the period where because they always do it like in a lot of time where they can do the reshoots before they got to release the movie. But
Right.
yeah, just an addition. That wasn't even in the script. I don't think that was in the script, the original script for
Mm-hmm.
the movie. But
True.
I'm sure Lucas heard the complaints about Phantom Menace where too much talking, too much, not enough action, and so he probably wanted to put a little more action in Attack of the Clones. So
Maybe. But I also know you didn't really care. Like you're gonna get criticism about it. He's like, I'm just doing it my way. It's
right.
like he wouldn't even take like I know on the original trilogy he had a lot of counsel and a lot of people helping him with it. And with the prequels it was pretty much just him saying what he wanted.
Right, especially Phantom Menace is the most
Mm-hmm.
unaltered Star Wars George Lucas's mind there is.
Okay.
And well, I mean, I
Maybe that's
honestly,
why he likes it so much. Excuse me.
I think
Maybe
that's
that's why
just
he likes it so much.
yeah, I think that's just fact. Like people just like there's no influence on that. Like that was just Lucas's mind just out. He had the yes men all around him. I want this to happen.
Yeah.
They're like, okay. Because after the original trilogy, he was like a film god, you know.
Yeah.
So he could do whatever he wanted. And some people didn't like Phantom Menace. I love Phantom Menace. I just think it's really interesting for Star Wars. But yeah,
Yeah, very interesting thing for Star Wars. And I'm surprised we haven't even started talking about this character yet.
what we got?
We've been like bouncing around all over the place, and we have yet to mention this character.
I have no idea
Or
who you're
even
gonna
the
say.
sequence. Count
Okay.
Dooku.
Oh, you know what's funny? You know why? Because Count Dooku isn't
In it that much.
the Count Dooku. It's crazy. He's the main villain of the movie, and he's not unveiled until probably over half the movie's done.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like interesting. It's like you see like this entire movie, we see a lot of this character development, and we get like Dooku for like the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, honestly.
And I do like his interaction with Obi-Wan, but like before we jump into like Count Dooku, I just gotta say one word leading up to this is seismic charge.
Oh, right. Super cool. It's props to the sound design on that one.
Mm-hmm. I actually really enjoyed that entire like little fight sequence because you can
Yeah.
see Obi-Wan's he's not a bad pilot, but he just hates it.
Yeah. Right.
And I believe in Master and Apprentice we learned why he hates flying.
I don't know yet.
Oh, I thought you finished the book.
No, I never finished it. I gotta read
All
that.
right, good. I'm not gonna say anything else then. Finish that book and then.
Yeah, it is funny though. He says he loves flying in that movie, which is an interesting.
In the book, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah, in the book, which is interesting.
Yeah. Also in that book, we learn why he hates it.
Yeah.
But
So
I do like the interaction that Count Dooku has with Obi-Wan. He's like trying to pretend like he has nothing to do with the dark side. Like he's like, oh, yeah. So, oh yeah, we're just doing this, blah blah. Qui-Gon would have agreed with me. He would have been helping me with it. I don't know what you want either.
Well, he's a political idealist, not a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding. That's a quote. That's a quote from Coyote Mundi.
Oh, really?
Dude, come on, are you serious?
Oh, that's right. In Master Apprentice, he does say that. I forgot.
No,
You're right.
no, not in Master Apprentice. In the movie,
Does he?
bro, he's a
How did I miss
political.
that?
He's a political idealist, not a murderer.
Oh, you're right. I did forget about that.
Is that Revenge or Attack? I actually can't remember.
Attack of the Clones, because in Revenge of the Sith, they don't really.
Oh yeah, he dies.
Count Dooku is pretty much just done.
Yeah, he dies.
He's history.
Yeah, but yeah, bro, you know what I'm talking about now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and Count Dooku, he explains everything to Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan just doesn't want to hear it. But
no. And it shows a little bit more arrogance of the Jedi because Count Dooku is completely transparent.
100% honest. 100% honest.
He's like, oh yeah, the Republic are already under the influence of a Sith Lord called Darth Sidious. And I'm like, guys, it's obvious. It's Palpatine. How are you guys not seeing this?
Mm-hmm.
And Obi-Wan refuses to believe it.
If Obi-Wan would have believed any ounce of that would have helped the Republic so much.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same situation where Maul is trying to bring Ahsoka onto his side to be able to draw Anakin over there.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
He's like, oh yeah, Anakin's the key to everything. He's going to be the new apprentice. And Ahsoka's like, oh, I almost joined you, but
yeah,
you said that? I don't believe that. So
it's the exact same thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't it cool that I can, I know what you're talking about now because I've seen all of it.
I know, that's why I quoted it, because I figured you know what I'm talking about now.
Yeah. Really good season. Well, actually, I don't know if I'd say it's okay. Just real quick, we don't have to talk about this, but I don't know if I'd say season 7 is a good season. The last four.
No, just the Siege of Mandalore is what made that season.
The last 4 episodes of season 7 is peak Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of boring shit in that, dude.
All right, we'll get back to that after because I want to ask you a couple questions about it.
For sure.
So yeah, so it's interesting that Count Dooku is like completely transparent, and Obi-Wan's just like, yeah, whatever. I don't believe you.
And did Obi-Wan? I wonder if he even like documented that to the council, like at least tell him what Count Dooku said, because
He
there
might
might
have, because Obi-Wan seems like that type, but then again, Obi-Wan gets tossed into an arena, and then a huge war starts.
yeah,
I'm sure once the war actually starts, it's like Obi-Wan's like, okay, so we're still dealing with the Sith Lord. He's somewhere over here, and they're like, because even Mace Windu would be like, yeah, no, nothing could get past us. We would know if there was a Dark Lord in our midst or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's even talking the Phantom Menace about a Sith being around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
you think he could use his intuition and his feelings a little bit, like
but this is like the arrogance of the Jedi though, and this kind of like really shows why the Jedi fell. The Jedi are so cocky that no Sith Lord can be above them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Very interesting. And then I want to make some more notes a little bit about the arena battle before we get into the final battle. And I did like a lot of the humor between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah.
I'm here to rescue you. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is where the banter really starts. It's there's some really great
Padme's
stuff
on
in there.
top of things, and she's like climbing on top of things.
Padme has an awesome outfit on. Let's say this is Padme's best outfit right here, man.
I agree.
I mean, this is peak Padme. Dude,
you're a clown.
I just gotta be honest. Padme is the hottest Star Wars girl. I'll be honest. She's hotter than Leia. She's hotter than Rey.
Hotter than Jin.
Hotter than Jin. I do think Jin's pretty hot, but Padme's got to be number one on my list.
I think, because I wouldn't really say Rey is hot. She's more like pretty. She's like the one you date.
I don't know.
The one you settle on.
I got a lot of friends that think Rey's really hot, but I just tell them, bro, like, come on, remember Padme. Padme's way hotter than Rey.
That's 100%.
Anyway,
no doubt.
Anyway, awesome. All right, we gotta move on. I was just saying, dude, awesome outfit, man. She's looking really good in this Geonosian battle.
Indeed, and I think a lot of people actually don't even notice this part with Anakin. It's very subtle. He uses a Force ability that I don't think a lot of people noticed.
Which one?
Beast control.
Oh yeah. The whole
he subdues the beast so he can ride on it.
Yeah, the rhino shakes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And this same creature shows up in Mandalorian, huh? Season 1.
Maybe? No, this is a different one. Not the same. Not the same one that he gets the crest on.
Are you sure?
Positive, yeah.
All right. I have to watch season 1. It's been a while since I've seen season 1, but yeah, dude. Okay, wait, real quick. Who do you think has it the hardest? Which one of these beasts do you think is the toughest?
I want to say the one that's like the praying mantis looking one.
I was
that
agree.
one or the
100%. No, I agree, dude.
Or the other one that's like jumping around like it's kind of like a cat.
Yeah, that's Padme's. I would say the one that I would least want to face is Obi-Wan's for sure. The praying mantis one, bro. That one's scary.
I think that's the one why Obi-Wan went for it, is because he's the more experienced. So it's like, okay, naturally they're gonna get to their level.
Yeah. That thing was crazy, dude.
And then Obi-Wan ends up chopping his legs off later. I mean, Mace Windu.
Yeah. We get some like Return of the Jedi vibes, kind of Rancor Jedi vibes, where they're facing a giant beast.
That's true. I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like they don't have their lightsabers; they're just kind of being resourceful, kind of using whatever they can to kill them. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a really cool arena fight. I mean, this is the first time where you see, well, not the first. This is the only time where
you see a bunch of Jedi,
hundreds of Jedi. I mean, this is the only time on live action you see that.
I wouldn't say hundreds of Jedi, but I'd say like dozens.
Dozens? Man, there's a lot of Jedi.
I don't feel it's hundreds.
Let's see.
Because if you get to that final round with all the Jedi being centered around all the battle droids and whatnot, it's only
there's a lot of
Jedi there.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of them dead by that point.
Yeah, but I mean, you look in Clone Wars, and like, oh, one Jedi is equal to 100 droids or whatever, and then
Right.
so
We got the Geonosians though mixed up in the battle too, and bounty hunters and
bounty
we got some other stuff.
hunter, just one bounty hunter, and he gets his head chopped off.
Oh, wait, are there destroyers in this battle? I can't remember. I don't think so.
I think there are a couple of destroyer droids, but it's mostly super battle droids.
Yo, is this the first time you see a super battle droid in the arena?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. But no, hey, the shot where we see it's literally both sides running into each other, droids and Jedi. I think there might be 100 Jedi, low key.
I think maybe after the clones show up with Yoda.
Okay.
That might be when it is, but not actually arena. I have to look at the arena again, but I'm kind of doubting that whole hundreds thing. I still think it's dozens.
There's a lot of Jedi. I would say I would say okay, maybe let's say I would say 60 to 70 at the least. That would be my least. 60 to 70. There's a lot of them out there. Let me look at some pictures.
All right, fine. So I did a quick Google. 212 Jedi led by Mace Windu.
Really? No way. Really?
Yeah.
Let me see. Attack of Clone. I'll just look at Battle Geonosis.
They're
Really?
called the Geonosis Strike Team.
I was gonna say, dude, but also on screen too. I want to make sure we're being
on screen. It doesn't look that many, but
I wonder what's that from? Is that from Bro? There's a lot of Jedi. Oh no, wait, that's a lot of droids too. Yeah, there's a lot of droids. I like how By the way, I like how Padme is like right in the midst of this battle. No force powers, no lightsaber, doing her thing. She's holding her own.
And I think that they brought so many with them because imagine like you're Count Dooku. It's like okay, and then you see 200 lightsabers go around. You'd be like, all right, we give up. And they're troopers. They actually went for it. They're like, yeah, I think we can win this.
Yeah, 100%. Battle of Geonosis is just like that might be one of the biggest battles we see in Star Wars.
Land battles,
if
yeah.
not the biggest.
Battle of Hoth.
Yeah.
It might be bigger than Battle of Hoth. It's actually bigger than Battle of Hoth because once the clones arrive, it becomes like this giant, big, all-out war. Because it encompasses a great distance, whereas the Battle of Hoth, that's more of kind of like an escape. It's almost like the Battle of Umbara. The Umbara arc. Clone Wars. Prong Krill.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Krill. Fuck that guy, eh?
Yeah. So I like that Dooku's just like, all right, well, I'm out of here. Peace out, guys. And
yeah. Let's get back to Battle of Geonosis.
You're not getting away from me that easy, Dooku. So Anakin and Padme and Obi-Wan chase him, and I love how upset Anakin gets when Padme falls.
Yeah.
And I think at this point, Obi-Wan knows something's going on. He's like, dude,
she would do her duty. Sorry, those words. That's what he says.
He's like, you're gonna get expelled, bro. Like, honestly, dude.
What would Padme do?
We got this guy right here, and you got a girl who just fell in some sand. I know you hate sand,
Yeah.
but it's not that bad. She survived. We'll come back for her.
Yeah.
I know you think sand is rough, coarse, and it gets everywhere, but this sand is a little bit soft and cushiony.
Yeah. This is a different sand, bro. This is a different kind of sand. Come on.
Yeah.
This is more like
sand. This is Geonosis sand.
Yeah. Come on. I will say another point I want to say before we get to the Dooku battle is there's some really, really cool camera shots going on. And they're CGI camera shots because a lot of this stuff is just straight CGI, but it looks really, really cool. For instance, there's those big like sphere things. I don't know what they are. They're like stations or whatever. And they shoot one down. Yoda says, focus all your fire on that station, one of them, so we can get one of them down.
Battle station, yeah.
Yeah, and so then one of the battle stations finally falls down, and then you get the sand, like a huge wave of sand. And
a little shockwave.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Like you get like sand and the clones. All you see is like blaster bullets and shit like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like it almost looks like hot, like fan made stuff. Like it's really really cool stuff. That I'm
Not to
really kind
mention,
of glad they
not to
put in
mention
there.
where you see like the Republic cruisers drop down, and then the troopers get out, and you see a Jedi twirl his blade and just run, and all the
Yeah,
clones run right behind him. Even
hell yeah.
I did think the shot with Mace running, and then he swings his blade or twirls his blade, and then he turns around and looks at the clones, and then he turns back and runs. Looks so awkward.
That does look well, yeah, because that's obviously his green screen, and they're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
Samuel, look to your left and right, and then run straight."
What
That's
am I
what happens in
looking at?
that
There's
scene.
nothing there.
Yeah,
Pretend like you're looking at something. Oh, okay, all right.
no, that one looks green screen, but I'm talking about some of the other shots. Like, there's some really cool like experimental camera stuff going on.
Oh
Zooming
no,
in
I agree.
here,
I agree.
there's some cool stuff. There's so much stuff in the Battle of Geonosis. Is like that freaking vehicle for the Separatists. 2 huge wheels. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. That we see that a lot in the original Battlefront too.
Yeah, and all this stuff originated from this movie. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is the first battle of the Clone Wars. Pretty pivotal moment, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty cool stuff in the Battle of Geonosis.
And we also have to mention Battle of Geonosis is where a budding friendship grows and becomes two 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 specific droids become BFFs at this point.
Now, who's that?
3PO and R2.
Oh, right. Forgot about all that. This
Because
is dude.
we start getting that familiar R2 and 3PO moments where
Yeah,
3PO's yelling at him.
good humor too. R2 saves his ass, man. He takes his head, puts it back together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
quite beside myself.
yeah. This is such a drag, he says, while he's getting dragged to the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's good stuff.
Cheesy funny, yes.
Yeah.
I did also like when before even Dooku escapes, he goes to was it Geonosian leader, and he grabs the Death Star plans. He's like, "This will be safer with my master."
Dude,
I thought that was cool.
that's always overlooked. Like, people always forget that the Death Star is in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Like this is the lead up to the Empire, and these are like their
Yeah.
Easter eggs. So it's like, okay, this is what the Separatists are discussing. There's you got the what is it, the Droid Federation, you got the Banking Clan, you
Yeah.
got Dooku and the Separatists. They're planning something, and we got to see what it is. It's the Death Star. They're planning the Empire.
Dude, and it's
This
always
is their
overlooked.
goal.
People always forget that happens in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be honest, it is a quick little thing because the the director and producers they don't want that to be a huge story beat, but it's kind of like an Easter egg, like you said. It's an Easter egg,
Yeah.
but it's cool. It's very very cool.
Oh yeah. Uh, that's that's why I like a lot. That's why I'm glad they did the prequels because they're able to do a lot of this foreshadowing, and for people that are like seeing the original trilogy and jump into this, a lot of when it was first put out, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Oh yeah, and I think it works both ways because I would recommend watching original trilogy first because you get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the fun. Lucas is playing with the knowledge that we already have, but
Mm-hmm.
you could watch it 1 through 6, and it would make more. I mean, it would make sense chronologically. It's like maybe it wouldn't
Yeah.
be as cool, but it definitely they put all that stuff in there. So
Yeah.
and then we get to the finale lightsaber duel.
Yes. And I just gotta say, this is something that up to this point, like you gotta see Darth Maul with the double bladed lightsaber, and this is one thing that I was super excited to see because I saw the action figure before the movie came out, and so the action figure kind of spoiled it. But at that point, I didn't. Back then, like we didn't really care about spoilers. Like when you got the action figure before the movie started, like you just started getting like excited. Oh man, Anakin's got 2 lightsabers, a green and white, blue one. I can't wait to see how this happens. Or you like see certain characters like, oh, who's this character? Can't wait to see him on screen.
Right.
Nowadays, people are like, I don't want to see anything from it. I see an action figure. Oh, great! Thanks for spoiling. It's like people get so butthurt over it. It's funny.
Yeah.
But I remember spoilers used to be like exciting things.
I real quick, we could spend like 30 seconds on this, but by the way, it's already May 1st. Kenobi's going to come before we know it. It's going to be here in no time. Do you think we're going to get another trailer before it comes out?
I think so.
Because the other one was kind of it was titled as
It was a
as a
teaser.
teaser. Yeah, right. It's a
Mhm.
teaser. So I think we'll probably get like one trailer, right?
One trailer, we might start getting TV spots for it.
Yeah,
But I think they're
that'd be
trying to
awesome.
figure out what they want to show because they don't want to spoil too much.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's only 6 episodes.
And we got 2 episodes on the first day, so we only got 4 weeks of the series, and it's gonna be like a movie, bro. It's gonna be a movie on the first day because it's gonna be over 2 hours, so
Yeah,
or
I know I'm
about
gonna
2
be at
hours.
Celebration at that point.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be freaking sick. It's gonna be really cool.
Yeah. So a lot of you guys that follow us on Instagram, be sure for Celebration. I believe it's the 26th through the 29th. Pay attention to our story. I'll be doing a lot of coverage there. Back to the final battle.
Final
A
battle.
lot of cool things in this. Like Dooku's sword fighting style, lightsaber style is pretty epic. He's such a
Yes.
gentleman when it fights.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Gentleman. That's funny.
Like he has no trouble against both Obi-Wan and Anakin at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's just like super fluid moments. Even when Anakin going crazy with 2 lightsabers, he's like, "Oh, all right, already gonna cut your arm off. Get out of here."
Yeah. Yeah, dude. This is probably Prime Dooku, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be Prime Dooku.
Yeah, because he even faces off against a little green creature, which I remember being super excited to see. This is
Yeah.
the first time we get it. Because a lot of people just are familiar with Yoda and Dagobah, little creature, no lightsaber, training Luke, blah blah. And this is the first time we actually get to see Yoda pull out a lightsaber and actually fight.
Yeah, and I like the
Big
way
moment.
I was gonna say I like the way they shoot it. They make it a big moment. It's like they do this cool music, and then Yoda, he force pulls the lightsaber out of his belt, which is really cool.
And just hovers right to his hand, yeah.
Yeah, and they shoot it
And
really
he
cool.
doesn't even need that stupid stick.
I know, it's so funny.
He's walking in like huddling on the cane and oh, by the way, I don't need this lightsaber time.
Yeah, I always wondered about that. He must channel the Force really strongly because he's 900. So
800 at that point. Oh no, no, you're right. He's like 880 at that point.
yeah, super old. So
I think he's
obviously
like Darth Vader because Darth Vader uses the Force a lot to be able to like move the suit because it's so heavy. And so I think it's the
yeah.
same with Yoda. Yoda uses the Force to kind of like
Does it for like a
for
burst
combat.
because yeah for combat because he needs that cane regularly, but
Mm-hmm.
he could use it for a certain amount of time to kick some ass if he needs to.
It's that adrenaline.
Yeah, that too.
He's like, I'm
Wait,
the little green man. I'm here to take you down, boy.
facing off against a Sith. This is the first Sith we see that doesn't have yellow eyes.
This is true, and I think it's because he's still. Well, because I don't think Count Dooku is necessarily evil. I think he's joins the Sith for the ideals and hasn't like fully given into the hatred. I don't think it's hatred that fills him.
Hmm.
Because what was it like? Kylo Ren has said he's not a murderer. He's a political blah blah blah.
You know
And
what's
so
funny?
that's my reasoning for it, at least.
I just had something click in my mind just right when we're having this conversation. Um, um, if there's a fallen Jedi that becomes a Sith, you see them go between yellow and regular because Darth Maul is a pure Sith, yellow all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sidious is a Sith; he's always yellow. Kylo, Anakin, and Dooku, they're all fallen Jedi, and they all don't have yellow. They sometimes have. Actually, I don't know. Well, you know what? We can forget about Kylo because he's from the sequels. But I don't know if I ever saw Kylo with yellow eyes. I don't think I ever saw him with yellow eyes.
I wouldn't really consider him Sith though, but he was a very angry guy, so I'm actually surprised
Yeah,
on that one.
you know,
But I mean, with the
I'm
sequels, they kind of like ignored. They
a
kind
lot
of
of stuff.
ignored
A
a
lot of
lot
stuff.
of like things that are supposed to make sense. But what else?
Yeah. So whatever. I'm gonna forget about Kylo, but Anakin and Dooku, because Anakin doesn't have yellow eyes the full fight with Obi-Wan. Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but not the full fight. So
Yeah,
maybe it's like a fallen Jedi type thing.
could be. I'll have to look into that. Another trivia
Yeah.
thing I'll figure out.
Yeah.
And then Dooku escapes. He plays a nice little
Mm.
trick on Yoda because he knows he can't best him in swords and he knows he can't best him in the Force. So he's
Yes.
like, all right, I'm gonna play cheap so I can get out of here because I know I'm not gonna win this.
Now I wonder who would have won. if let's say
Yoda.
Dooku, you think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Because Dooku was doing very good though.
He was doing very good, but Yoda was wearing him down.
Right. Yeah. You know what? By the way, Obi-Wan has a very good track record in dueling, but
Yeah, he loses like almost every one.
I was gonna say Dooku always kicks. Wait, Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
No, dude, he beats Maul, he beats Anakin, he beats Grievous. But when he goes against Dooku, he gets his ass kicked. I don't know why. Dooku has that dude's number somehow, but for some reason, whenever Obi-Wan goes up against Dooku, he ain't a match for him. He ain't a match for him. Even Revenge of the Sith, where Obi-Wan's at his prime, he picks up Obi-Wan like he's a stick, throws him against the wall.
True. Very true.
Freaking forces some shit on top of him. But
yeah,
I don't know why. The dude just he can't duel against Count Dooku. He's afraid of him.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Because I know Anakin's a better swordsman than Obi-Wan.
Maybe because he respects him so much, he thinks, "Yo, this is my master's master," kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is Qui-Gon's master. So he's like, maybe he's like, I can't match up with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
No, I feel it.
Kind of
Makes
a cool
sense.
thing to think about. Yeah.
I'll have to look at that. We'll discuss that more when you get to Revenge of the Sith for that final battle.
Yeah. That's Anakin's prime for sure. Anakin's super powerful in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh yeah. We'll save a lot of that discussion for that.
Yeah. But Anakin gets his ass whooped in this battle.
There's no 3.
Because Count Dooku is on the level of Yoda. Count Dooku is on the level of Yoda in this movie. Maybe not quite as good, but he's that powerful. Where he's like,
because Count Dooku was a swordsman.
Yeah.
And Yoda had 800 years to practice.
Well, yeah. I mean, Yoda's always going to be a boss. And
go ahead. Even in Revenge of the Sith, when we get to the discussion between him and Sidious, I have more to say on that too.
Mm-hmm. But neither Obi-Wan or Anakin are in their prime in this movie, so.
Yeah, and Dooku gets to escape, and we get to see him meet up with Palpatine, which is cool, or Sidious. So that was kind of a cool shot. I thought that was a cool shot.
Yeah, that is cool. It's like a little Sith behind the scenes stuff going on.
Because you don't really get to see it from that side. I mean, we saw him in Phantom Menace, but they're kind of more on a balcony walking, and you see like Coruscant in the background. This one was kind of like inside his chambers, inside like his docking bay or whatever. And then now everything starts to force forward after that. We get Anakin and Padme's marriage, so we see that they kind of just rush into it. They kind of like realize, okay, let's keep this secret. We can make this work. And then probably one of my favorite shots is Yoda overlooking the balcony. I think Mace Windu's there with him, and with one of the Kaminoans, and you see the clones just marching into the ships.
Oh yeah,
the Clone Wars begin.
Really cool. I don't want to complain too much about this movie, but I feel like those ships, they're Star Destroyers. Those always look so fake to me in that scene. I don't know why. They're just like really like blatant CGI.
Because they are.
Yeah, because they are, and this is like the start of CGI, really.
Even the clones, 2000, like my Echo 5, I think it is. He actually is not a big fan of the clones in this. We always have this discussion. Like one of his big complaints is that because the clones are all CGI, they look super squishy.
Yeah, I mean it's true. It's true. Like a big thing that they do in Revenge of the Sith is add weathering, scratches, and dirt on their armor, which really makes it more realistic.
This one they're just too pristine.
Yeah. Also keep in mind, it's kind of crazy because Revenge of the Sith, the CGI shots, they weren't all created in 2005. 2005 is when the movie came out. It was created like 2004 or 2003. I don't know how they freaking did it. There was such a huge jump in quality from Attack and Phantom Menace to Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith just looks like a different. It looks like it's from 2010. I don't know how they did it. Dude. I really don't know. But
yeah, I don't know.
Ships, clones, General Grievous, Yoda, it all looks so much better. I don't know how they do it, man. But yeah, a lot of the CGI in Attack is definitely looks dated for sure.
It really does.
Oh.
And overall, I actually really like Attack of the Clones. Like just kind of just reviewing it, just being like discussing things out. I, I think I put it a little higher than I did last time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of cool things,
Let,
especially
let
with like a lot of the technical stuff. Not like as far as like story wise, but like a lot of the development.
yeah. Well, okay. Let's say if we have to put it out of 10, and we can't do a 0.5 or 0.2 or anything, we have to give it a solid number. What would you give it?
A 7.
Exactly the same for me. I give it a 7 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this was a fair rating.
I agree.
Like it's kind of average. It's not really good. It's definitely not bad, but it's just kind of
Nah.
average. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna 7.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Well, I can't wait till we discuss Revenge of the Sith because I know you're gonna have a lot to say on that.
Oh well, that's a 10 out of 10. You want to talk about a 10 out of 10 movie? There's gonna be a lot to say.
We'll see if my ranking changes after we discuss it. So
Dude,
let's hold.
oh,
I'll hold
so
off on
good.
mine.
Yeah, for sure. But even before we get into that, I'll tell you guys right now. Revenge of the Sith is a 10 out of 10. Phantom Menace, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Really, it's more like an 8.5. But if we're not doing points, then I'll give it a 8.
8. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's Attack of the Clones.
It is.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I was about to say Attack of the Clones. Just kidding, by the way, because I don't think it is. But I was gonna say it's one of the best modern Star Wars movies. But I don't think it's considered a modern movie anymore.
No, because it was 20 years ago.
20 years
20.
ago, like in the year 2000, they wouldn't talk about 1980 as being modern, and that was
Yeah.
20 years before that. So it's like there's no way we could call it a modern movie.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
It's just so crazy. It's crazy, huh?
It's crazy to think that, man.
That's
How time
20
flies,
years.
bro.
Seriously, it really does. It really does.
Man. Yeah. Pretty crazy. Like, and then we're getting all this crazy new stuff like Kenobi, Mandalorian, Book of Boba, new movies, and celebrations starting in a month. So we're gonna get more announcements.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's just gonna.
I was just gonna say that this year is gonna be like the most consistent Star Wars content we've gotten like ever.
Yeah. I'd have to
Like you.
say yeah, because Andor also comes out in the Bad Batch season 2,
Oh yeah, I mean usually you have
and
to wait like
Mandalorian
20.
season 3.
Yeah, usually you got to wait like 20 years for Star Wars projects, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I was just gonna say the thing is Kenobi, bro. It's got a lot of pressure because I think it will kind of decide if like we're in a good era because Mandalorian is obviously good, but Boba Fett
Yeah,
was kind of shaky, you know.
Mando had to save it.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping Kenobi kind of brings it back to that level so that we could be like, oh yeah, we're still on track because Boba Fett kind of dipped a little bit, you know.
A little bit, but I don't know. Kenobi's gonna have lightsabers, Darth Vader.
Oh, dude, it has all. Okay, I did hear a rumor, and I really hope it's just a rumor. I heard a rumor that I can't remember her name. She's the Black Inquisitor. I heard she's gonna
Okay,
be the main character in the show.
I would. I kind of assume that to be general.
You what?
I wouldn't say main character, but main villain.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it better not be. They better not pull a Book of Boba where they're like, oh yeah, Kenobi. There's only like 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean the show is called Kenobi, so I mean she better not be the main character. Main villain, honestly, still I feel like the main villain should be more the Grand Inquisitor. But
I
you know,
don't think so. Only because he's more more of a villain in Rebels, and I feel like he doesn't need to come out and do anything. So I think it's gonna be this chick and the fifth brother, and then
okay.
Vader's. Then they figure out it's Kenobi, and that's when Vader's like, "Oh, I'll handle this."
Yeah, maybe she's the one that's dispatched to like Tatooine or something, so she becomes the main villain because you know they
Yeah,
follow her story, something like that.
like she doesn't even know it's Kenobi.
And she's not in Rebels, right?
No, the fifth brother
Um,
is, and Darth Vader is, and the Grand Inquisitor.
yeah,
She's
maybe she
new.
dies. Maybe she dies in this
I
series
hope
then.
so, because we don't know all the Inquisitors. There's still a few that we haven't seen, and I assume that they're either killed off or yet to be introduced in other projects.
So I told you I started Rebels, right?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, dude. And the crazy thing is, I can already tell the first season of Rebels. I don't know. Maybe this is unpopular opinion, but is better than the first season of Clone Wars. The first season of Clone Wars is so bad, in my opinion. But
Bro, I told you.
you know what I like about Rebels? They did make it seem like it's super super rare for there to be Jedi. So like maybe
Yeah.
that like I can't remember the main character's name. What's his name? Ezra.
Kanan.
Yeah, Ezra and his master, like they might be pretty much the only Jedi left, or who knows,
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good news.
I'm actually really glad you watched Clone Wars before Rebels.
Oh yeah,
Because there's gonna be some stuff that's gonna go down. That's gonna be from Clone Wars that you're gonna hype. That's gonna hype you up.
yeah. The thing that pisses me off is that I've seen a lot of the big highlights from Rebels, like on YouTube, or people tell me about it, talk to me about it. So,
Like what are the big highlights that you already know?
well, I know that Ahsoka and Vader duel.
Oh, okay.
I know that Obi-Wan, kills Maul in like 2 seconds. I know like the big, huge highlights of the show, pretty much. But
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you wait, what, five years?
wait, what was that?
I said that's what happens when you wait like 5 years to watch a animated show
Oh yeah. But
that's
dude,
been done.
by the way, I quit Rebels. By the way, so I mean I started it, and it's not that I didn't like it, but because I binged Clone Wars pretty fast, and so like I'm
You're
kind of
burnt
just
out.
I'm burnt out from animated Star Wars. Definitely not Star Wars, but animated Star Wars, I'm burnt out. It's just like constant blaster fire, just like action. You know what I'm saying?
I can understand.
So,
And
like I like the animated stuff, but sometimes it's a little much.
it's something that you watch like a few episodes here and there.
Yeah.
Like with Rebels, like a lot of they go really deep into lore, like especially what they do with Ezra. I really like
Yeah.
what they do with Ezra's character.
Mhm.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but it's just really hard to watch it animated just because it's animated.
Well, yeah, and I think the target for those shows, the target audience is a lot younger, and so in every
Well,
episode, what was
Rebels
that?
is targeted towards a younger group, but it's still pretty dark. In
Yeah,
some
no,
ways,
and
darker than Clone Wars.
same. Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Because Clone Wars is pretty dark, but I would say even with Clone Wars and Rebels, both of them, like even if it's not warranted, they have to shove like some action in the show because it's for like honestly, I think these shows are for kids mostly, and so it's like they need some action. It can't just be all talking all the time. But some episodes, I
I'm
feel like there should be talking.
I'm just gonna tell you this now.
Okay.
That's just today's It's targeted at today's generation.
Yeah.
People can't sit down and enjoy a story.
Yeah.
They have to have like explosions here, explosions there. They can't enjoy an actual like developed story.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at when The Force Awakens came out and it ended with not knowing who Snoke was.
Yeah.
Everybody was freaking out. They're like, who's Snoke? We need to know a story now. Why didn't they develop a story here? Blah, blah, blah. Even though they know it's a trilogy. And
Yeah.
people just can't sit still. They need constant explosions in their face to be able to say, oh, yeah, that's a good movie.
Mm.
If there's no like explosions or any action, then people are like, oh, that movie sucked.
Yeah.
And that's not just younger audience. That's just people in general today. People are just impatient and just want to get straight to the action.
Yeah. And there's 2 years between each sequel, where every other Star Wars trilogy they had 3 years.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I think that year that was lost because I think this goes to your point too. People want stuff like faster, like in the age of like Netflix binging and everything.
Uh-huh.
But man, they could have benefited from an extra year for the sequels for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Because that's
Was
what
it?
they did with Lord of the Rings. Instead of just waiting, they just filmed all three at once. Just
Oh,
wrote this one giant story, filmed all
right.
three movies at once, and then released every movie a year apart.
Yeah, but there was more strategy to that, right? Because they filmed it all
No,
at the same
absolutely
time.
more strategy. Like all the scripts were written way before they even started.
Yeah, and they filmed everything at the same time. So I think they did. I watched like an interview. I've never seen the movies. I know it's crazy. I've never seen Lord of the
You've never
Rings,
seen
but
Lord of the Rings, dude,
I've never seen Lord of the Rings.
bro.
But I saw Elijah Wood talk about it. He said they did like a freaking 32-month span of shooting, which in film that's a long time to be shooting shit. So They filmed them
Yeah.
all at the same time.
Let alone that just being the first of its kind. Nobody's seen Lord of the Rings. People love the books, and there's a huge following on it. But for there to be a movie and just to film all through like an entire trilogy, hoping that it's gonna kick off is huge risk.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. That's true, huh?
And then The Hobbit sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never
don't know if
seen
you saw
those. I've never seen anything Lord of the Rings. I've never seen Game of Thrones, and I think it just comes down to like dragons and swords and potions and like medieval stuff. Just has never
Not your thing.
interested me. Yeah, it just never interested me.
Which is funny because that's kind of what Star Wars is, just in space.
Not really. There's so much influence in like Western, and I mean there's
Yeah,
Japanese. It's like a mixing pot of
you're
all
right.
kinds of different influences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Well, I was thinking like the whole knight and lightsaber being swords type thing.
well, that's true. But also like sci-fi. Like sci-fi interests. Like I love Terminator.
Yeah.
I love Back to the Future. I guess that could be considered. Yeah, that's sci-fi.
Oh,
I
hell yeah.
love.
Time
I just
travel.
love. I love sci-fi, but I just don't necessarily love like I don't know well, I guess that would be called
Fantasy.
fantasy, but Star Wars is a fantasy. But that's the thing about Star Wars. It's like it's literally a mixing pot of so many things. That's why it's so popular, I think.
Well, it's a
Sci-fi
sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah. No, exactly.
It's not just fantasy by itself. It's got other things like mixed into it.
Yeah, I think it's okay. So Irvin Kershner, the director of
Yeah,
Empire Strikes
Empire.
Back. I was watching the behind the scenes of Empire. By the way, you should watch that, bro. The things I had to do to shoot the Hoth stuff
Okay.
is crazy. I mean, they were actually shooting in a blizzard. They had to bring like heaters to like get the shit off the camera. It's crazy, like what they did. But anyway, he was saying that he was advocating Star Wars is not sci-fi at all. It's just complete fantasy because I never really thought about this, but he said when we go to different planets in Star Wars, nobody has a helmet. We're not worried about if they can breathe on this planet, if they're floating in this
True.
planet, like stuff like that. It's just
Because
fantasy.
there's no science to it.
No, yeah, there's no science. It's literally just like fantasy type stuff. But
Yeah, it's a space fantasy.
yeah,
Get
but
it? It's cool.
I also wanted to say that in Empire Strikes Back, the only location that they shot in the real world was Hoth. Everything else was a set, like created in the
Really?
studio. Yep.
I guess that makes sense because a lot of it was like inside ships and stuff like that.
Well, yeah,
Even
but
Dagobah?
yeah, I was gonna say the only thing that surprised me was Dagobah. That's the set. That's a huge set they built. Yeah, just in a studio.
Most impressive.
Most impressive. I love it, dude. I love when people say that. When people like comment that shit on like social media, it's so funny. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. I'm like, God, shut up.
But dude, I try to use quotes whenever I can. I do it all the time at work, and people just look at me like they don't even know. They don't even know I'm quoting.
Yeah, it's funny though because when I read it online, it's like I read it in the voice of the movie too. So it's like it's kind of funny.
Absolutely, dude. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So be sure and like and comment. It really helps people find us better. So when there's more activity, it hits the homepage, hits a lot of other people a lot quicker. So it'd be able to help get us out there more. So we really appreciate you guys' support. Also, be sure to check out the links in the description. We have our Discord where you can chat with other friends. We get a lot more activity there, so it's great. Every Sunday night, we're going to start hosting We're going to start hosting watch parties, actually. So I know earlier tonight we did Phantom Menace. So next week we're going to be doing Attack of the Clones. So join our Discord, join in. We'd love to talk with you, and we'd love to have you part of our community. It's a really friendly place there. Also, follow us on Instagram if you don't already. We'll continue to post updates and news there. You'll also be able to see a lot of our cool adventures that we're going to be doing this coming year. And also, if you're looking for some new shirts, click our Teespring link. There's some shirts I've designed that I think you guys will really like. So share with your friends, buy some, and enjoy. So thanks for watching, guys, or well, not really watching, but thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next time. Echo 2 out.
Echo 3 out.
May the force
Be with you.
always.